It is the 12th day of June 2013, a day when Kenyans have high expectations about the budget that is to be read tomorrow. Good evening and welcome to MMU News at 9. I am Winnie Ratego. In the headlines, Ongata Rongai security menace, jam along Magadi Road. And in this week's feature edition, we bring you how far women can go just to make ends meet. The security issue in Kenya is of much concern to many urban centers in the country. Ongata Rongai town, which is located in the suburbs of the capital Nairobi, is also facing a fair share of security worries, with buildings coming up almost on a daily basis and a rapid increase in the population numbers. Insecurity is an issue that has got relevant authorities concerned. Our reporter tells us more about this.
High rate of unemployment in Ongata Rongai has led to the residents to live in fear due to the now cropping habit of insecurity. Theft has now become a major issue in various areas, as mentioned by the police.
Sometimes they may go without getting anything, of which it may force them to engage on criminal activities. But of late, we have tried our level best to engage members by just operating border, of which sometimes they may go without getting anything, of which it may force them to engage on criminal activities. But of late, we have tried our level best to engage members of the public so that they can assist us in fighting crime.
With the increased number of unemployed youths in Ongata Rongai, the police have tried to bring in measures to help these youth not engage in criminal activities. Reporting for MMU, I'm Velma Ambitho.
At least one person has been confirmed dead in church in Eastleigh Estate after a grenade attack by unknown assailants. The police are already at the scene together with Red Cross officials who are trying to assist the injured. I'm now joined on phone by our senior reporter Samuel Onyando, who is on location to update us on what is going on at the scene. Good evening, Sam. Could you please tell us the situation on the ground?
Thank you, Winnie. Well, the atmosphere here at Eastleigh is filled with tension and sadness, as one person has just been confirmed dead and several others injured as a result of the grenade explosion. And people are so scared just by the look on their faces.
How many people have been injured and where have they been taken to?
Well, Winnie, as I said earlier, there have been several injured victims who have been rushed to the Kenyatta National Hospital, and of course, the one unfortunate victim who died. And the police are trying to keep the residents who are trying to have a glimpse of the damage that the grenade explosion has caused away, and urging them to go home. Winnie, it's said that the dead victim was one of the attackers who was to throw the grenade to a supermarket here, which is only 2 minutes, which is only a 2 minutes walk away from Moi Air Base, which is one of the key bases of the KDF forces, which are the Kenyan Defense Forces Air Wing, that is responsible for the custody of the presidential jet and overseeing the capital airspace safety.
Well, viewer, we'll continue giving you more updates as the story unveils. Moving on. Ongata Rongai town has been making news headlines in the recent times due to traffic snarl-up leading into and out of the town. Early morning and evening are the worst for many motorists who are either headed for work or back at home after a long day. The authorities concerned point out several factors that they say have contributed to the situation. Lilian Cherono talked to the Deputy OCPD of Ongata Rongai Police Station to shed more light into the matter.
Ongata Rongai region is currently experiencing a challenge of excessive jam along the Magadi Road. A major setback of time and patience is induced when all types of vehicles move slowly in the queues towards their destinations. Speaking to MMU TV in an interview, this is what the area deputy OCPD had to say.
There are some items which have contributed to a lot of jam. That is one being the route, that is the Said Makati road, was rather designed to facilitate Makati Soda, of which it is rather narrow. So that is the cause of the jam. Another item is there is no bus stop, bus stages rather, along the route. Finally, we have a lot of potholes that is within Ongata Rongai, of which it actually causes the slow of traffic jam.
The Deputy OCPD of Ongata Rongai, Charles Kerotich, has just given us the major reasons as to why there is such a challenge. Reporting for MMU TV, I'm Lilian Cherono.
Uganda's Daily Monitor newspaper has reopened after being shut down by the authorities for more than a week. The privately owned paper was closed after publishing a letter alleging that President Yoweri Museveni was grooming his son to succeed him. Mr. Museveni has been in power since 1986 and elections are due in 2016. There has been standing speculations that his son Muhoozi Kainerugaba, a brigadier in the army, is being groomed as his successor, but the government has denied such plans. I will be back shortly with our weekly edition of our feature news. Stay tuned. Welcome back. With the hard economic times facing many people in Kenya today, women of Kiserian Dam area in Kajiado County have not been left behind in the struggle to make ends meet for their families. In this week's feature edition, Elva Emongor shares more about the struggles and benefits that the women encounter.
With unemployment rate being high, hard economic times have forced the youth and women to look for alternative means of fending for their families. But at Kiserian Dam area, we meet Lucia Nyarjon, a 60-year-old lady and a mother of 4 who has beaten all odds by venturing into quarry business in order to earn a living. My name is Lucia Nyarjon. I started this work long ago because it is the one that feeds my children. Many years have gone by while I am still doing this job. I feel good when I always crash ballast because it's the one that feeds me. It pays my rent. It's the one that has brought me this far together with my husband. We have lived happily without any arguments in the house. When I leave the house in the morning, I always report to my workstation, and I try very hard not to engage myself with any woman or man that will ruin my reputation. At the end of it all, I have encountered a lot of benefits since I started this job 10 years ago, and I have not engaged myself in any other job. After I have collected these stones, I transport them to the site where they will later be sold to a potential buyer. I am not ashamed of myself or what I am doing because
People say that the kind of job I am doing is only for men. These days, the world is diverse, and whatever men can do, women can do better. Though the benefits, I also encounter a lot of challenges because we crush the ballast with our bare hands. So I will ask the government to help us by providing us with gloves and money that will help us improve our living standards.
After a long day's hustle, it's from the sale of ballast that women in Kiserian Dam area earn their living. Reporting for MMU News, I'm Emongor Elva.
On to our business news. Job opportunities for many youths in Kenya are a real hustle. This being the sad reality, many have opted to venture into self-employment in order to earn a living. Our reporter Brian Dungu had a day with Eric Mwangi, a businessman in Kiserian, and this is what he came up with.
With the introduction of county youth funding and the emergence of 24-hour economy proposal, youths are taking no chances by venturing into business and putting their entrepreneurial skills to use. As Kenyans eagerly await the budget reading, Eric Mwangi, a youth in Kiserian, ditched idleness to clothing business. As a small-scale businessman, it is from his hard work in the clothing business that Mr. Eric has managed to establish his life, earning himself a decent living.
Siwezi kosa kuuza elfu zangu 3, elfu zangu 5 hivi kama iko chini. Sasa tatizo ni kwamba yani ile kitu imekuwa ngumu, uchumi umekuwa uko down. Mimi Kenya naweza omba yani serikali iangalie mavijana. Maana yake mimi hata ukiniangalia na kama kijana mdogo, lakini na bidii ni kama inawezekana, itawezekana yani serikali ya vijana kama walitutangazia ni ya vijana ituangalie sasa yani. Mtaani. Na mimi kwa maoni yangu kama mimi naweza pia mwa vijana wafanye kazi, sababu mimi mwenyewe niliangalia kuliko nikae huko jobless corner naangalia basi wenyewe wametoka kutafuta ndo time nenda nikawapiga ngeta hapo iwezekani, unaona? So kitu nyingine.
Many challenges face youth in Kenya. They have opted to start small businesses so that they can earn a decent living. Reporting for MMU Business, I'm Brian Dongo.
And on our international scene, many of the Greece's public service are in disarray because of a general strike in protest at the government's surprise move to shut down state broadcaster ERT with a loss of nearly 2,700 jobs. The government says ERT had a huge drain on public resources and will reopen at a later date under a new format with considerably fewer staff. The Greece government, however, promised to compensate all the workers and allow them to apply for jobs at the revamped organization. And in sports, the Harambee Stars have fallen to the Eagles of Nigeria in a thrilling encounter at the Kasarani Stadium. In a match grilled with high expectations, the national team featuring Kenya's high-flying Victor Wanyama wanted to prove that they can be ranked among the best teams in Africa. But the day was not in favor of the Stars, as Nigeria's Musa Ahmed scored in the 79th minute to deny Kenya's those important points. Many fans expressed mixed reactions after the match, where the Eagles went home smiling.
The Harambee Stars have yet again fallen to the Super Eagles of Nigeria in a thrilling encounter played at the Kasarani Stadium this afternoon. Before the match, some fans had expressed dissatisfaction with the lineup because of the absence of key players, including Dennis Oliech, McDonald Mariga, Arnold Origi, among others.
Expectation towards the game that is about to begin, because of some few key players that are not in the team, like Dennis Oliech, McDonald Mariga. And in fact, the team that we are going to face is that giant of Africa. In fact, that team is the one that won the previous Cup of Nations, African Cup of Nations. So we don't have that bigger hope, but what we expect is maybe a draw or they will be beaten. Yep.
The match was marred with dramatic moments as the two teams fought hard, desperately to outdo each other. Musa Ahmed, ensured his team put the icing on the cake with the lone goal of the match in the 79th minute.
Ni kwangu mimi ni mechi imekuwa mzuri sana, lakini bahati ndio haikuwa ya kwetu, ndio maana tumefungwa hiyo goli moja, lakini bado ninaamini na bado kuna wakati mwingine bado tutacheza tu vizuri, lakini mechi ilikuwa mzuri na tumecheza vizuri, players wetu pia na wamecheza vizuri, lakini ni tu bahati ndio na tulikosa.
The Stars will now have to prove their might against Malawi to salvage their chances of qualifying for the 2014 World Cup. For MMU Sports, I'm Silas Okubala.
It is said that there is always a winner and a loser, but unfortunately for the Kenyans, we suffered another loss. This bulletin can't come to an end without bringing you our weekly edition of the CHIPUKIZI side. Take a look.
Let's go to Kiserian area where there are women who are bitter. And what are they bitter for exactly?
Tumesikia vibaya, tumesikia sida, maana amefungiwa kasi, fence iko hapo, maji mefungia hapo, kokoto yetu mekwama hapo. Sasa njaa iko kwa sida yetu hapa juu ya kokoto hii. Kwa sababu tumetaka hivi, serikali ajue vile itaweza saidia sisi, maana hapa ndio tumetegemea.
At the same time, some of us were in a battle.
Though many challenges faces there in
or let's say a battle of words. Wait for it. Some were victorious.
The OCPD of Ongata Rongai, Charles Kairotit, has just given us the major reasons as to why.
While some were too serious to get it done.
For MMU Sports, I'm Silas Kano. Take two. Good. Take two.
Well, all in all, we do have fun at work as this mkokoteni man. Samuel Onyando, Chipukizi's eye.
Well, we've come to the end of our bulletin tonight. I am Winnie Ratego. Have a lovely night.